This is extremely important. You need to be including version control into your workflow. You don't want to be caught with your pants around your ankles and all or most of your data lost. And you know what Reddit or Stack Overflow is going to tell you? Well, at least you can do it faster next time. You don't want to be there. I'll have another video on how to protect your master branch, make different branches, and really just how to utilize GitHub Desktop to the best of your ability. Subscribe for more. And I know GitHub can be complicated, so if you have any issues, drop them in the comments below. I'll see if I can help you out. The first thing we need to do is make a GitHub account and download GitHub Desktop. So I want you to pause this video and go do both of those things. Just type into your browser of choice, GitHub Desktop download, and then go to GitHub and just make an account. I believe in you. There'll also be links below to both of those web pages to give you a head start. Next, you'll be greeted to a very bright page like this, or something like it. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to navigate to new repos. So right here, if you navigate over here and hit your home button, you can find that top repositories. You can see all the repositories I have open. You just over here and hit the new button. So let's open that up and you're greeted to this page. We're going to ignore templates. They're kind of advanced and I don't even use them. But the repo name should be short, informative, and probably your game's code name. This is where you select your owner. You should probably be selecting yourself or your group or company's GitHub account. You can add a description if you like. Test repo. This is where you choose public or private. To have a private repo that you can use, you need to give GitHub money every month. So for all intents and purposes, we will all be selecting private. You can add a README folder if you want to tell the people who download your repository how to use it or what it's for. It's not entirely necessary. Gitignore, this is very important. And then adding a license. Licenses are also one of those things that is important if you want to be sharing and spreading your repo, but if you're trying to make a game for yourself or just for fun, it's really not important. If you want the simple version, we want to use a Gitignore relative to the product we're using. So we can type in Unity and we can select the Unity Gitignore. You basically cannot use GitHub with Unity if you do not use the GitHub Ignore. From a broader perspective, the Gitignore is going to tell GitHub what parts of Unity do not need to be saved to GitHub, such as library files and basically anything involved in the actual Unity build. All of that is going to be governed by the Unity version you have, such as Unity 2022.3.41F or something. But yeah, it's its own programming language. You can add and remove things from the Gitignore. I would be careful editing that. And I would do it on its own branch if you are going to mess with it. But that's a high level view of it. Once we have all that inputted and selected, we're going to create our repository. And you should be greeted to a screen that looks something like this. There is only one branch named main, and it's just empty. It's got a Gitignore, and that's it. So, what do we do now? Well, assuming you have GitHub Desktop installed, we're going to go over here to code, the big green button, select that, and say open with GitHub Desktop. Click on that. Hit allow, and you can see that right here that it's asking to clone the repository down, and we're going to want to do that. So I've gone ahead and opened the file explorer of our brand new GitHub repo, and you can see it's got some Git files and the Gitignore in it. We can actually open that if you want to take a peek at what's inside, but nothing is here. So the next step, and this is where some of our paths may diverge. If you already have a game, you're going to want to find it using the Unity Hub, or you're going to want to make a game in here and tell Unity to open or to make the file here. So I just opened my Herding Cats repository and asked it to open where it is. I can see, oh, it's right here in my GitHub folder because it's already uploaded to GitHub. You can click here and you can see all the files that are in it, but you're going to want to do the same thing. So if this, let's say Herding Cats is where this was saved, you would drag this into the test repo. Now, assuming you don't have a project there, which some of us won't, you're going to hit new project. You're going to select the template you want, select your name, but the most important part is choosing this location. We can pop over here and we want to navigate to this test repo too. You can see how it's empty and we select the folder. So when we hit create project, it'll be there. You should see a bunch of stuff like this. This is my catastrophic kitchen. repo, but you can see all these green check marks and these red and yellow check marks. That green is we're adding, red is we're subtracting, but basically you should have a bunch of things to upload to GitHub. And you're just going to first push and then commit. You should add descriptions, but on the first push you're just pushing basically the empty Unity project or your first save of your stuff. You're going to click commit and then push to origin, and then boom, you're good to go. It's pushed to GitHub. You can begin working on a branch. Best of luck out there. Until next time.